William Shatner, of course, the king of overacting for no apparent reason. You have to love this man.
Mother, is that you? Beckoning me into the light. Must move toward the light.
Get a life, will you, people? Crying out loud, it's just a TV show.
Price Line Negotiator.
Before we begin, I want to remind you that if you love comics and pop culture as much as I do, you'll subscribe to my channel and ring the bell to stay informed of upcoming videos. Please share this video, as that will help me gain subscribers as well. I also want to remind you to check out my columns and reviews on two sites, Comics for Sinners and Comic Crusaders. I also have my own franchises, Adolescent Radioactive Samurai Platypi and Carl Vincent Vampire Hunter. The latter has been picked up by Cutthroat Comics. Check the links below for more details and the link to Dracula Rising, which is available on Amazon. Here's some great artwork from Raphael Lanohouse from the origin story Foul Blood. Once again, available on Cutthroat Comics. See the links below. I also have a book which is a collection of my reviews and columns called Comics, Pop Culture, and Politics. You can also find t-shirts and posters on Teespring. Again, check the links below for all Carl Vincent Vampire Hunter merchandise. And now,
on with the show, this is it.
Here's part 2 of my look at the film career of William Shatner. We have a lot to cover, so I'm going to get right into it. In 1980, he did a film called Kidnapping of the President, a Canadian-American political thriller film which starred Shatner, Hal Holbrook, Van Johnson, and David Gardner. Produced and directed by George Mendes and co-produced by John Ryan from a screenplay by Richard Murphy and Charles Templeton, based on Templeton's 1977 novel of the same name.
How do you plan to handle this terrorist?
I must have exclusive authority to deal with him.
Also in 1980, he did The Babysitter, American made-for-television drama horror thriller, directed by Peter Mendick, starred Patty Duke Aston, Stephanie Zimbalist, and Shatner, about a young girl hired as a live-in nanny and tries to destroy a suburban Seattle family. He did a cameo in Police Squad, the television series, which came out in 1982, created by the Zuckers and Jim Abrams. It starred Leslie Nielsen, of course, as Frank Drebin, and it was a spoof of police procedurals. The series featured Zucker, Abrams, and Zucker's usual sight gags, wordplay, and non-sequiturs. While a parody of many television shows and movies, it bore a particular resemblance to the Lee Marvin Cox show M Squad, in particular the opening credits, and the late 1960s series Felony Squad. Although the show was canceled after 6 episodes, it later successfully spawned the Naked Gun film series from 1988 to 1994. In 2013, TV Guide ranked it number 7 on its list of 60 shows that were canceled too soon. In 1982, we come up to Visiting Hours, which was originally titled The Fright. It's a 1982 Canadian slasher film, directed by Jean-Claude Lord, starred Lee Grant, Michael Ironside, Linda Pearl, Shatner, and Lenore Zahn. The plot focuses on a feminist journalist who becomes the target of a serial killer who follows her to the hospital after attacking her in her home.
Don't get close.
You admit you're wrong, you still can't see my side?
Oh, come on.
Well, let's talk about it over dinner. Now, let me take you home.
I'm not going home. I want to walk.
Visiting Hours was released on May 28, 1982 and grossed $13.3 million at the box office on a budget of $6 million. The film received mostly negative reviews from critics. Then we come to Airplane 2, the sequel, a 1982 American parody film written and directed by Ken Finkelman and starring Robert Hayes, Julie Haggerty, Lloyd Bridges, Chad Everett, Shatner, Rip Torn, and Sonny Bono. It's a sequel to the 1980 film Airplane. The team who wrote and directed the original Airplane, the Zuckers and Abrams, had no involvement with this sequel. Paramount, having faced a similar situation with Grease 2 earlier in that year, hired Finkelman, who wrote Grease 2, to write and direct Airplane 2 as well.
Hope he's not still bitter about what happened between us during the war.
If it weren't for those people up there, I'd say let Ted Stryker go down in a fiery, twisted mass of molten metal.
I'm a fan of T.J. Hooker, and I was just wondering, have you been approached about returning to that character, and would you like to return to that character?
See, you know, it's hard to believe. It's hard to believe. But I'm getting older.
On television, Shatner began another iconic role in T.J. Hooker in 1982, an American police drama television program starring Shatner in the title role as a 15-year veteran police sergeant. The series premiered as a mid-season replacement on March 13, 1982 on ABC, and ran on the network until May 4th, 1985. It was then picked up for a further single season by CBS. The supporting cast includes Adrian Zmed as Rookie Officer Vince Romano, April Clue as Officer Vicky Taylor in Season 1. She was replaced by Heather Locklear as Rookie Officer Stacy Sheridan from Season 2 on. Richard Hurd played Captain Dennis Sheridan. Toward the end of the show's second season, James Darren became a regular cast member as Officer Jim Corrigan.
I'm the biggest Star Trek fan ever, and I'm so glad they're making the film. Anything to keep William Shatner out of that cop outfit. I can't watch T.J. Hooker. I can't.
And 1982, a big year for William Shatner. This is the year that Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, often celebrated as the best of the Star Trek movies. It is an American science fiction film directed by Nicholas Meyer. The plot features Admiral James T. Kirk, William Shatner, and the crew of the starship USS Enterprise facing off against the genetically engineered tyrant Khan Noonien Singh, played by Ricardo Montalban.
I'll chase him round the moons of Nibia and round the Antares maelstrom and round perdition's flames before I give him up.
There she is. There she is.
The character first appeared in the 1967 episode Space Seed. When Khan escapes from a 15-year exile to exact revenge on Kirk, the crew of the Enterprise must stop him from acquiring a powerful terraforming device named Genesis. In 1984, William Shatner made Star Trek III: The Search for Spock, an American science fiction film written and produced by Howard Bennett, directed by Leonard Nimoy, and based on the television series. It is the third film in the Star Trek franchise, and is the second part of a three-film story arc that begins with Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan and concludes with Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home. After the death of Spock, the crew of the USS Enterprise returns to Earth, and James T. Kirk learns that Spock's spirit, or Katra, is held in the mind of Dr. Leonard Bones McCoy. Kirk and company steal the Enterprise to return Spock's body to his home world. The crew must also contend with hostile Klingons led by Kruge, played by Christopher Lloyd, who are bent on stealing the secrets of a powerful terraforming device. Secrets of a Married Man came out in 1984, an American made-for-television erotic drama film starring William Shatner, Michelle Phillips, and Sybil Shepherd. The film was directed by William A. Graham, written by Dennis Nemec, and premiered on NBC September 24, 1984. William Shatner stars as Chris Jordan, a man going through a midlife crisis. His wife, Katie, played by Michelle Phillips, is attractive. However, after having 3 children, they have lost the prior intimacy in their relationship. He then did an episode of the Ray Bradbury Theater, which was an anthology series that ran for 2 seasons on HBO from 1985 to 1986, and 4 additional seasons on USA Network from 1988 to 1992. It was later shown in reruns on the Sci-Fi Channel and later Retro Television Network. If you want to find it, it's currently airing on Comet as of this recording. The Playground stars Shatner as a middle-aged man that never grew up. All 65 episodes were written by Ray Bradbury based on short stories or novels he wrote. Then we come to 1986, and the biggest money-making Star Trek of all time, Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home.
Do you have any idea how many registered Trekkies there are?
10,270,561.
You made that up?
Yes.
Spock, you're talking about the end of every life on Earth.
Intent on returning home to Earth to face a trial for their actions in the previous films, the former crew of the USS Enterprise finds the planet in grave danger from an alien probe attempting to contact now extinct humpback whales. The crew travel to Earth's past to find whales who can answer the probe's call.
And I go to meet Kevin Pollak. Now, Kevin is a little apprehensive about meeting me. So we started talking, and I said to him during the course of the conversation, I hear you do me. He says, yeah, I do. I said, do me. So he goes, Jim, you gotta go. He does this thing. Where you going? I said, Kevin, that's not me. I don't go, Kevin. He says, yes, you do. I said, no, I don't. And I found myself arguing with Kevin Pollak as to who I am.
Captain Kirk returns in Star Trek V: The Final Frontier in 1989. The final year of the 80s sees William Shatner directing his own Star Trek movie and takes place shortly after the events of Star Trek IV. before the voyage home in 1986. Its plot follows the crew of the USS Enterprise as they confront the renegade Vulcan Cybok, who is searching for God at the center of the galaxy.
This is not about me. Tonight's show is about you. I'm only here to help you find the you inside of you. Let's see if we can't help someone here this evening. Anyone at all? A question.
Then we come to the final Star Trek film to feature the original cast, The Undiscovered Country in Star Trek VI. It's a 1991 American science fiction film directed by Nicholas Meyer, the sixth feature film based on Star Trek, and taking place after the events of Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. It is the final film featuring the original cast. The destruction of the Klingon moon Praxis leads the Klingon Empire to pursue peace with their longtime adversary, the Federation. The crew of the USS Enterprise must race against unseen conspirators with a militaristic agenda. In 1992, he appeared on the Larry Sanders Show episode The Promise, an American television sitcom set in the office and studio of a fictional late-night talk show. The series was created by Gary Shandling and Dennis Klein, aired from August 92 to May 98 on the HBO cable television network. The series stars Shandling, Jeffrey Tambor, and Rick Torn, and features celebrities playing exaggerated self-parodying versions of themselves.
Bill? Yeah. What was your biggest enemy on Star Trek?
DeForest Kelly and I had some problems.
No, I mean, alien-wise. Who are the evil aliens who were always after you?
Romulans, there were some Romulans, salt suckers. Klingons, there were some Klingons.
I think that's it, Bill. Thanks a lot.
What's so funny?
In 1993, we come up to Family of Strangers, an American made-for-television drama film directed by Sheldon Larry. The film, which stars Melissa Gilbert and Patty Duke, is based on a book by Jerry Hultz and was shot on location in British Columbia. In 1994, he appeared in the TV series Sequest DSV, hide-and-seek episode. While visiting Dr. Westphalen, he's visited by Malcolm Lansdowne. The two of them are captured by ousted dictator and escaped UEO prisoner Milos Teslov, who wants Malcolm's dolphins to train for militaristic purposes. However, when Kristen notices Teslov's autistic son Caesar taking an extreme liking to the dolphins, she forges a deal for her release, granting Teslov passage aboard the Sequest. Also around that time, we have Tech War, which is a television series based on the Tech War novels ghostwritten by Ron Goulart from outlines by William Shatner and developed for television by Stephen Roloff. The series follows Jake Cardigan, a former police officer turned private investigator working for Cosmos, a private security firm owned and operated by Walter Bascom, who was played by William Shatner. The series was broadcast in Canada on CTV and in the United States on USA Network and the Sci-Fi Channel. The series, which was a co-production between Atlantis Films and Universal Television, premiered on January 17, 1994 and ended on February 9, 1996.
Where's the microfilm, Mike?
I don't know. When I gave it to York, I thought she was one of your men.
Act in haste, repent in leisure.
And William Shatner loves to lampoon his own characters, which he does once again in National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon, which is a 1993 American parody film directed and co-written by Gene Quintano and starring Emilio Estevez, Samuel L. Jackson, Kathy Ireland, Hank McRae, Tim Curry, and of course William Shatner. The film spoofs the first three Lethal Weapon films. Then we come to William Shatner's final appearance in the Star Trek franchise as Captain James T. Kirk in Star Trek Generations, which is a 1994 American sci-fi film, and the seventh film in the Star Trek film series.
I take it the odds are against us and the situation is grim.
You could say that.
Sounds like fun.
Malcolm McDowell joins cast members from the 1960s television show and the 1987 spin-off The Next Generation, including Shatner and Patrick Stewart. In the film, Captain Jean-Luc Picard of USS Enterprise D joins forces with Captain James T. Kirk to stop the villain Tolian Saran from destroying a planetary system in his attempt to return to an extra-dimensional realm known as the Nexus. In 1995, William Shatner did an American documentary film called Trinity and Beyond, the Atomic Bomb Movie, directed by Peter Curran and narrated by Shatner. Using restored archive footage, the film traces the development of nuclear weapons and their testing from America's Trinity test of 1945, hence the title, to the first Chinese atomic bomb test in 1964. In 1996, he did two made-for-TV movies, The Prisoner of Zenda and Dead Man's Island.
What are you talking talking about? William Shatner's on the show.
Actor, director, novelist, bon vivant, William Shatner?
He appeared on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which is an American sitcom television series that starred Will Smith as a fictionalized version of himself, a street-smart teenager born and raised in West Philadelphia who was sent to move in with his wealthy uncle and aunt in their Bel-Air mansion. Shatner appeared in the episode I, Tooth.
I am here to speak for you, all of you. The old, sick, you who have been ignored by your country. I will be your voice. Yes. I will be your conscience. I have felt your pain. I know what you want.
In 1998, we come to Land of the Free, a film directed by Jerry Jameson and starring Jeff Speakman and William Shatner. Shatner plays the role of Aidan Carvel, a business person running for Congress as an independent candidate with what is presented as a broadly libertarian agenda. Unknown to the public, Carvel is training and arming a militia force, though the purpose of this private army is never wholly specified.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. No tears, tears.
In 1999, we come up to Free Enterprise, a romantic comedy film starring Eric McCormick and Raphael Legal, and featuring Shatner. It was directed by Robert Meyer Burnett and written by Mark A. Altman and Burnett. It deals with the midlife crisis of its two main protagonists, Mark and Robert, fictionalized versions of the film's director and producer-writer. The two friends struggle with adult career and relationship problems, all the while defiantly clinging to the geeky science fiction popular culture of their youth and seeking advice from their greatest hero, William Shatner. Also in 1999, he appeared on Third Rock from the Sun as the Big Giant Head. He would make 5 appearances total on that show.
Look at this loser.
Hello? Is this any way to greet your supreme leader?
He also appeared on Space Ghost Coast to Coast, Futurama, and a TV movie called A Carol Christmas. Then in 2000, he started The Century Off Right and Miss Congeniality, a comedy film directed by Donald Petrie, written by Mark Lawrence, Katie Ford, and Karen Lucas. It starred Sandra Bullock, Michael Caine, Benjamin Bratt, Ernie Hudson, Candice Bergen, and, of course, William Shatner. Falcon Down is a 2001 action film directed by Philip J. Roth and starring Dale Midkiff, Judd Nelson, Jennifer Rubin, Cliff Robertson, and, of course, William Shatner, who plays Major Robert Carson.
This is a direct order. Pan the weapon before we lose another plane.
The biggest U.S. military project in history, the XB-1000 Mach 6 stealth bomber, known as the Falcon Project, is canceled following a major disaster during its first test flight. Various parts of the plot are loosely based on the book Firefox and its movie adaptation. Shoot or Be Shot is a low-budget, independent film that premiered in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota. William Shatner would voice a slew of animated projects throughout the years, including Osmosis Jones, Little Pimp, The Wild, Over the Hedge, Gotta Catch Santa Claus, The True History of Puss in Boots, Quantum Quest, Cassini's Space Odyssey, Escape from Planet Earth, To Your Last Death, Jason on the Hercules animated series, Atomic Belly, and My Little Pony. He also narrated or hosted films like Mind Meld, Secrets Behind the Voyage of a Lifetime, Stalking Santa, When Elephants Were Young. From 1989 to 1996, he hosted Rescue 911, 15 episodes of A Twist in the Tail, Show Me the Money, How William Shatner Changed the World, Aftermath, Weird or What, The Comedy Central Roast of Charlie Sheen, Clangers, Cutthroat Kitchen, Better Late Than Never. He was also roasted by various celebrities on the Comedy Central roast of William Shatner. He starred on Invasion Iowa, a television series that aired on Spike TV beginning in March 29th of 2005. The series depicts events from September 2004 in which William Shatner played a hoax on the small town of Riverside, Iowa, by claiming to film a science fiction movie there. Unbeknownst to the residents of Riverside, the movie was in fact a fake and a satire on the genre, in front of and behind the cameras. Psych is an American detective comedy drama television series created by Stephen Franks and broadcast on USA Network. Shatner played Frank O'Hara in 2 episodes. He also hosted The Captains in 2011, which is a featured documentary that follows actor William Shatner through interviews with the other actors who have portrayed starship captains in 5 other incarnations. So in 2002, he came up with American Psycho 2, an American black comedy slasher film and a standalone sequel to Mary Harron's 2000 film American Psycho. It is directed by Morgan J. Freeman and stars Mila Kunis as Rachel Newman, a driven criminology student who is drawn to murder. The film also features William Shatner as her professor. The film was adapted from a script titled That Girl Who Wouldn't Die, and was originally conceived as a thriller with no association with the American Psycho series.
It's all part of the adventure. Everyone will assume that you're me.
Groom Lake, also called The Visitor, came out in 2002, a film directed by William Shatner and starring Amy Acker. From 2004 until 2008, he would appear on The Practice and Boston Legal in his Emmy Award-winning role as Denny Crane. In 2005, we see A Miss Congeniality 2, which is an American comedy film directed by John Pasquin, written and produced by Mark Lawrence and starring Sandra Bullock, Regina King, Enrico Marciano, William Shatner, Ernie Hudson, Heather Burns, Diedrich Bader, and Treat Williams. It is the sequel to the 2000 film Miss Congeniality. In 2007, he appeared in the miniseries Everest 82 as Norman Kelly. The series is based on the 1990 book Canadians on Everest, The Courageous Expeditions of 1982 by Bruce Patterson of the Times Colonist newspaper. From 2008 to 2011, he hosted Shatner's Raw Nerve on the American television channel Biography. In it, Shatner sits down with various celebrities and conducts offbeat interviews with them.
So how many more buffoons are going to come in here saying they're Sally from Cincinnati?
Someone say my name.
He also appeared in episodes of Rookie Blue, Have I Got a News for You, and Hot in Cleveland, The Shatner Project, Chaos on the Bridge, Breaking Ground, 2011. 2015 brought us A Christmas Horror Story, a Canadian anthology film directed by Grant Harvey, Steve Hoban, and Brett Sullivan.
Merry Christmas!
It premiered on July 20th, 2015 at the Fantasia International Film Festival and had a limited theatrical release. The film is a series of interwoven stories tied together by a framework story featuring William Shatner as a radio DJ. He played Mark Twain on The Murdoch Mysteries, a Canadian television drama series that premiered on City TV on January 20th, 2008, and currently airs on CBC. The series is based on characters from the Detective Murdoch novels by Maureen Jennings.
He's such a pro. Like, you usually think that people who've been doing this a long time just kind of don't have to be pros anymore, and he is a pro. Like, to be able to sit and be like, running lines with him, and he's running the next 2 days of lines. Like, it's just, he's so impressive.
He appeared in 4 episodes of Haven, an American-Canadian supernatural drama television series loosely based on the Stephen King novel The Colorado Kid. The show, which deals with strange events in a fictional town in Maine named Haven, was filmed on the South Shore of Nova Scotia and was an American-Canadian co-production. It starred Emily Rose, Lucas Bryant, Nicholas Campbell, and Eric Balfour, whose characters struggle to help townspeople with supernatural afflictions. Then we come to 2017's Batman vs. Two-Face, an American animated direct-to-video superhero film produced by Warner Brothers Animation, distributed by Warner Brothers Home Entertainment, and a direct sequel to Batman: Return of the Caped Crusaders based upon the 1960s Batman TV series. The film stars Adam West in his final role, Burt Ward and Julie Newmar, reprising their roles of Batman, Robin, and Catwoman from the series. Batman and Robin meet Gotham District Attorney Harvey Dent at a top-secret demonstration hosted by Professor Hugo Strange, with his assistant, Dr. Harleen Quinzel.
I can't go on like this. I insist you stop this madness.
Look, pretty boy, we had a deal.
A containment vat explodes, drenching Dent with liquefied evil, which scars half his face and changes his personality.
William Shatner is probably one of our big headlining guest stars this year as a rival PI.
Private Eyes is a 2017 Canadian comedy drama television series inspired by the novel of the same name by G.B. Joyce. It stars Jason Priestley and Cindy Sampson as the 2 protagonist private investigators solving crimes in Toronto. Shatner appeared in 2 episodes as Norm Galinsky. Then we come up to a Canadian crime comedy drama series called The Indian Detective, where he played Dave Marlowe. It debuted on CTV and Netflix in 2017. The show stars Russell Peters as Doug DeMello. He appeared in Aliens Ate My Homework, a children's film adaptation of Bruce Coville's novel of the same name, directed by Sean McNamara. Then we come to Devil's Revenge, a 2019 American horror film directed by Jared Kahn, starring Jerry Ryan, William Shatner, and Jason Brooks. John Brock is a down-on-his-luck archaeologist who returns from an expedition to the caves of rural Kentucky after unsuccessfully trying to locate a mysterious relic that his family had sought for generations.
I'm back to find the answers to mankind's biggest mysteries and the world's strangest phenomena.
And he currently hosts The Unexplained, a non-fiction series on the History Channel that looks at subjects that have mystified mankind for centuries. The show is not only hosted, but also executive produced by William Shatner.
Hello.
Captain on the bridge! Captain on the bridge!
He played himself on an episode of The Big Bang Theory, the D&D Vortex. Will Wheaton brings William Shatner on his Professor Proton show to meet Sheldon. Creators of The Past is an Italian science fiction fantasy film which features Gerard Depardieu as well as William Shatner as guest stars. The film was announced as the first part of a planned trilogy. The film provides a fictional explanation as to why the Mayan prophecy did not come to pass. As the end of the year 2012 arrives, the universe is about to undergo an extraordinary planetary alignment, which will cause a total eclipse to be visible from planet Earth. And his current film, Senior Moment, American romantic comedy drama, film directed by Giorgio Serafini and starring William Shatner, Gene Smart, and Christopher Lloyd. There you have it, my friends, the film career of William Shatner, still going strong at the age of 90. Thank you, William Shatner, for all these wonderful memories and current comedy and drama antics. We hope you 90 more successful years.
You ready to settle down?
If you love comics and pop culture as much as I do, you'll subscribe to my channel and ring the bell to stay informed of upcoming videos. Please share this video, as that will help me gain subscribers as well. I also want to remind you to check out my columns and reviews on two sites, Comics for Sinners and Comic Crusaders. I also have my own franchises, Adolescent Radioactive Samurai Platypi and Carl Vincent Vampire Hunter. The latter has been picked up by Cutthroat Comics. Check the links below for more details and the link to Dracula Rising, which is available on Amazon. Here's some great artwork from Raphael Lanohouse from the origin story Foul Blood. Once again, available on Cutthroat Comics. See the links below. I also have a book which is a collection of my reviews and columns called Comics, Pop Culture, and Politics. You can also find t-shirts and posters on Teespring. Again, check the links below for all Carl Vincent Vampire Hunter merchandise.